Mm, mm. I mean, it's not really a big deal, but mm. Hey, what's up, Alfred? Hey, what's up, Nate? Yeah, I actually, I'm still trading in the sim. I hopped in short. I got that indication that another part of my game I'm going to start using is this trend indicator right here. I'm going to start implementing these into my strategy. Um, the reason why I kind of took this short is because we got this double top. We got the trend indicator kind of confirming the double top a little bit for me. And honestly, what I probably should have waited was for probably like a failure underneath that low right here, like a break. And then honestly, what I should have did was, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So about an 18-point stop. Uh, I'll leave this right here. This is just a sim trade. I just kind of want to see. Um, but boy was today, man, was not expecting what we got today. Got that massive move down. And just imagine being at the top of that move today. Just imagine. Yes, Mario, we trade in the morning as well. We caught two beautiful shorts. We caught this Nasdaq short in the sim today, and we caught the ES from the top. I didn't know it was the top at the time, but we caught the top literally in ES today. I got my target hit at 59, but obviously I left all this money on the damn table. Obviously, was not expecting this, but but what I am expecting, what I am looking for is for when price gets back into this range, probably like at 59.60, maybe 62, but probably in this range somewhere. I do expect for the bears to come in and knock this market down. I do expect that. Uh, I'll be looking for it, but honestly, I may not even, I may not trade until I see the reaction to CPI tomorrow. Looking at the chart, the higher time frame chart on this, we broke a key level on at least on the ES. We broke that 54 level, and everybody was looking for that level to go long. Now we broke that level. We somewhat bounced at this little level right here at 35, but it bounced at 39. But we got price literally underneath all the EMAs. And right now, the only thing that's holding this market up is only this 200 EMA. And it's looking like the bears are definitely going to have their way with that EMA tomorrow. But obviously, CPI can definitely change the market, or the at least the pattern for tomorrow. We can get a big nasty green candle to the upside, knocking out all the bears, which, let's just be honest, is highly likely tomorrow. But once we get that deep pullback, we got to remember that these institutions are about 60% long this week. So we may get a red week where the market just continues to dump down and dump down and dump down. But just remember that they are long, and that we still got these contracts for the market to catch up to. Once they close this week, or once they expire this week, they're going to want to catch up to this contract. So it's already made it up to 142. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll see what happens for the rest of this week. Just to be a reminder, we got 5 more days left in these contracts until rollover. 5 more days. So we're definitely going to see a lot of volatility up until these expire. So definitely keep my eyes on that. We'll see if this short works out. I mean, it's looking like a good short. Well, it probably, I mean, honestly, the market might not even do anything, honestly, to be completely honest. We may not get anything going today, or up until CPI, or probably London. But this is, ours is, damn, you talking about tonight, or are you talking about yesterday? But yeah, kind of talking about that exhaustion, man. When I say that I'm gonna start using trend lines and trend channels to implement that into my strategy moving forward, this is definitely going to be implemented in my strategy moving forward. I mean, just the technicals of how these bears literally had to wait to get underneath this trend line and then use it as resistance, and the bulls couldn't do anything about it. The bulls never recovered from this trend line break. They never recovered at all. We just got this massive move down. And let's see if we can find like another example of probably them using a trend line or trend channel. I mean, I don't see one. Yeah, I don't see one. So but yeah, catching this short and holding it until, and then we talked about this level, this 365 level, and was it last night's NA meetings, or On Monday's NA meeting, we talked about this a potential area for the bulls to come in, and we can see price move up. So I was very proud of this level yesterday when I saw this, and I was like, yeah. We called the move going up from 445, and we called the bottom at 365 towards the end of the day. So a bunch of good calls on the Nasdaq. I just wish that I can just trust her more. And I would only trade the Nasdaq exclusively, but the ES is more consistent. So, and the ES doesn't overshoot. It doesn't make me feel like I'm wrong. I was talking to Smith about that the other day. I was like, dude, just imagine if you stayed in your original short that day, you would have been up like 10K versus you blowing the account, or not blowing the account, but taking that losing day. If he stayed in that short, he would have been so good, but the Nasdaq will make you feel like you're wrong. And having trust issues like that, and then you go to other markets and project that onto, like I said, I projected onto ES for whatever reason. I'm thinking the ES is going to overshoot her ranges. She's going to overshoot her highs. And that's the main reason why I keep a 9-point stop on the ES, is because I got trust issues from the Nasdaq. But I never have to use the full 9 points. I just keep it for a peace of mind, really. But I don't really plan on using the entire 9 points. But I will if I have to. Right now, I got a cool 18-point stop on the Nasdaq. That's how I started trading the Nasdaq, with an 18-point stop. And gradually over time, it grew to a 50-point stop with 3 micro contracts because of how crazy she is. But I'm definitely going to start doing what Alfred just said. Wait for the confirmation before I get in the trades from now on. Just wait for the confirmation, because, I mean, that trade that I took on the ES in the sim, when I thought was too low or too high, where was I in at? Where was I in at? I think I might have, because I think it was right here. And I think it might have ran back against me. I think it almost stopped me out, maybe. So I think my stop was like probably at 70, I think. I'm not sure where I actually got in at. I'm thinking it's right here, because I was trying to prove to myself that if I see a good entry, that I can still get my target hit. And in this situation, I was like, damn, I literally got my target hit, even though I didn't have a perfect entry. I literally shorted the bottom. I took some drawdown, of course, but it did hit my stop and it hit my target. And it kind of showed me that, as long as I'm trading with the trend, as crazy as that sounds, as long as I'm trading with the momentum and the trend of the market, I don't have to have a perfect entry to get my target hit. And I kind of proved that again on the Nasdaq, with because we was in, instead of the top right here, we literally got in here at around like 546 or somewhere around here is where we got in. And we got this massive move down, no drawdown in the trade. We was just trading the rotation down, and instantly our target got hit. So, and obviously we left money on the table. So, yeah, I might be gonna pay for that. Yeah, Nate, trust issues, man. Trust issues. The Nasdaq definitely gives me trust issues, dude. So Mario, me and my trading partner have two different styles. Smith is more momentum based, heavy size, momentum based. He trails the stop. Great trade management. His only problem is that he doesn't hold a target. My trading style is I prefer to trade smaller size. So like on the ES, I'll just trade 10 micro contracts, and that's basically it. On the Nasdaq, I'll trade 3 micro contracts and catch like 100 points, 70, 80, 100 point targets on the Nasdaq with a 50 point stop. And I will scale in at 27 points if need be. The reason why I have that strategy with the Nasdaq is because it gives me an opportunity. So like as an example, and I focus more on range rotation and levels with the Nasdaq. With the ES, she's more easy to read. I trade price action and structure with the ES. If you can see that the ES never overshoots. If you're a technical trader, if you prefer to trade technical patterns, the ES is the instrument for you. She doesn't overshoot ever. And yet, because I trade the Nasdaq, I project her onto her. And I'm thinking that, oh my God, she's going to shoot 10 million points, stop me out, and then go in my direction. But she never does, ever does. If you can be patient and wait for the setup, the ES is like the best instrument to trade. It's consistent. You know what to expect. You really don't need 9 points to stop like I do. It's only $450. That's why I keep it. But my goal is to not use the full 9. Honestly, I'm wrong past 5 points. 5, 6 points, I'm wrong. Because if you get in at a good spot with the ES, all you need is about 2 or 3 points and drawdown, ideally. Because you can you can back test and see that even at areas of prior resistance, you'll at least get 10 points to the downside. I think right here was 100, and it got all the way down here to 92. So she will always respect prior areas of support and resistance. She will always will. Even if you're on the wrong side of the market, you can still get a decent 8 to 9, 10 points, which is good for the ES on 1 mini contract or 10 micro contracts. Trend channels are very important on the ES. Very important. As you can see, she will short the highs and she will bounce off the lows. If you see a breakout out of a trend channel, you can expect for buyers to buy. You can expect that. And you can see them trying to buy it here. They rebalanced this area and they dropped. So it really depends. Hey, no problem. Yeah, that's why. Nate, yeah. Shit. Like I said, I go for 100 points. So on the Nasdaq, I think my biggest trade that I've ever had on the Nasdaq was like 550 points. I just realized that with the Nasdaq, if you got size on her, just like kind of what Mario said, is like, dude, your emotions will be through the roof. You're not even looking at the price action no more. You're just looking at your P&L. With smaller size and a bigger stop. So as an example, I'm gonna just draw. So as an example, if I get in at well, this ain't the Nasdaq. Let me go over back to the Nasdaq chart. So I mean, as an example, if I was in this with my original strategy of 3 micro contracts, I would have, obviously, this would be my entry right here. And what, 71 would be my stop? My stop will be all the way up here. So I have all this room to play with. And if price hits my stop right here, I think this is only $350 loss. Let's do that on the calculator again. Because I think it's only a $350 loss. Anyway, we'll just rock with that. What I usually like to do if my conviction is to the downside and I may have gotten in early, halfway through at 27 points, I'm adding an additional 3 contracts to this. And everything is coming off still at this stop. And adding those additional 3 contracts at 27 points, I think that it turns this trade into a $460 loss if I'm wrong. So I only have $460 of risk. And I'm usually shooting, my first target is until like 80 points. And if all my targets get hit, then it's like I think it's an $800 trade, $800 to $900 trade. And we all know that the Nasdaq sneezes 100 points. So I'm only risking 400. I'm originally risking $350 if I don't get that scale in. But if I do get a perfect entry, I'm looking to scale in 3 more contracts as it goes in my direction. So my whole idea is to start off with 3 and find a way to scale into 3. So I'm only have 6 micro contracts running at one time. And that additional 3 contracts adds about $700 to the trade. So if I manage it right, I can at least make $1,100 to $1,200 on a trade. Now, this is something that I pointed out with my trading partner Smith. He traded with size. He got half the points I got, or not even close, and he still made more money than me. So it's you really have to know what you want. I prefer to get the points. I'm not necessarily a profit guy. I prefer to have the points. Smith is obviously he prefers to get the profits. He don't care. He wants his profits. I want my target hit. So I mean, we have I don't want to say different mindsets, but obviously we just have different goals when we trade. I just want the whole move. I want the whole move. What I'm working on this month, and it's going to be my New Year resolution going into the next year, is to try to find a combination between my style and his style. Because if I can I can find really good entries. It's just my exes, for whatever reason, I get greedy with the Nasdaq, and my problem with the Nasdaq is that once I'm up like 100 points, obviously my mind is telling me we can go another 100. And I have that same problem on Bitcoin because last night we caught the perfect entry on Bitcoin. Let me actually turn it on. And I have the same problem. Like literally, price came all the way back to my break even, and I was up about 6K in this position. Honestly, if I had taken my profits at this low like I should have, and then got back in here, and then taken my profits here at this low, I would have been like up 10K in this one move, 10K plus. But because I want my target problem, and I get greedy, well, I had this trade go all the way from like 6K all the way back to my break even. So honestly, price might actually come back up here to R3 possibly. We probably might get a move back, up here to R3. Yeah, we probably might get a move back up to R3. And this is already looking like a strong low already. We got a double bottom here. They bounced at this range. Honestly, price actually I might get stopped out of this. And this is in the sim, so this is not like an actual trade. This is in the sim, but honestly, this kind of goes to show that the one thing, something else I need to add to my game is taking my targets, because I like big targets. That's the type of trader I am. I don't like short scalps. I just don't like that. I don't. I feel like bigger targets are challenging, and I like to be challenged. I like to solve problems. I like to figure things out through reverse engineering, and that's how I prefer to trade. but I will be working on my game obviously this month. So I'll be taking more sim trades than real actual trades. All my real trades that I will take will be in the ES because I have to get I don't have to, but my goal for the ES is just to have that as my payout account and have the Nasdaq and Bitcoin as instruments that I just want to have fun in. I just want to trade and just have fun and just have ES as a payout account. So all I need to get is 8 points a day. And as soon as I get my 8 points a day, I can get my payout and rinse and repeat. 6 or like 6 to 8 points. 6 to 8 points is what I need on the ES. And that's easy to get. You just have to be patient for it. I mean, you just got to be patient for it because she's going to chop, 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 chop. But then once you get into an area of prior resistance, I mean, shit, that short down, that 6 to 8 points comes real quick. Like, I was in this morning at 75. We got this move down right here. So this was 10 points. So what, 646? Yeah, so about 15, 18 minutes, I got my 10 points, but I was actually shooting for like 15. I got my target hit at 59, but obviously I left all this money on the damn table. So, yeah. Yeah. Mm. I think me and Smith is like, well, Smith's problem is that well, I think we both do this. It's once we get emotionally hijacked by stubbornness, I mean, from that point on, it's if the account dies, it dies. Kind of like Muhammad says, it's either I get my way or account liquidation. And that's exactly right. I mean, yeah, that's exactly right. Either I get my way or it's account liquidation. Obviously, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know, Alfred. Yeah, I know. But in those emotional situations, I mean, if you don't got that physical risk manager next to you saying like, yo, chill, step away from the charts, take a breath, that shoulder tap, yeah, it can get ugly. It's gotten ugly, man. It's gotten really ugly. We're talking, well, I mean, y'all guys seen it. I mean, I blew like I had like 6 funded accounts and I blew all of them because I went tilt. No, I mean, for no reason. I just went tilt and I blew all those damn accounts if for no reason. Started doing stupid shit like trading and like gambling in gold, not even waiting for gold to set up, just getting in. I was like, as I was watching myself do that in third person, I'm like, why am I doing that? Like, why am I doing that? It makes no sense, but I mean, I guess I was in my self-sabotage cycle. And unfortunately, those accounts had to be sacrificed. But obviously, moving forward, that's not going to be something that I'm going to accept. I'm not going to take that into the new year. I do think about what Oso said about getting a psychologist, but honestly, I just prefer to talk to you guys about this stuff anyway. I mean, if I can say something that helps, I mean, if I can say something that helps somebody else out or somebody else can relate, I mean, shit, this can be a therapy session at nighttime. Shit, Nasdaq Anonymous. We're all addicted to the NQ, and we just tell our stories, and this can be a therapy session. But yeah. I just need to stop once I get that emotional hijacking out of my game, once I stop doing that, Once I start waiting for the confirmation like I did this morning and just waiting for it instead of just jumping in and hoping that it works, just having that confirmation is like, okay, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to get the perfect entry, but having a that confirmation entry, I can add size to it. I can have a decent stop where price shouldn't go. The opposite side of the market is exhausted, and all I got to do is worry about my profit target. Like that's all this was today. I mean, that beautiful buying off the bottom of that channel. I mean, if you trusted this and saw this pullback, because this pullback was violent, it was fast. But if you look to the left and saw all this support and just get that, and then you got that confirmation candle, you got bottom of this trend channel, you got VWAP, you got 200 EMA, and then you got this strong green candle closing above. That was your confirmation right there. And you can see that price never came back once you got that confirmation candle. Price never came back. And you got this beautiful move. So let's just say that you got it at 528. I mean, you got this beautiful move all the way up here to 607. That was like what, an 80-point move. If you had a decent size right here, that right here. So what? So if man, where's my calculator at? I'm gonna be doing no math. So I kind of want to start trading like on the Nasdaq 15 contracts. So that was like an 80-point move times 2 times 15. So if you caught this candle right here with the 15 lot and you rode it all the way up here to this high right here, this move right here was $2,400 right here with little risk right here. And these are the trades that I think, these are the trades that I'm gonna wait for. I'm not gonna try to trade this crap. Well, it's not crap. I'm not gonna try to trade this anymore. What I wanna do is if I'm not in, if I see a big move like this and I'm not buying the pullback right here. So let's just say that I saw this breakout and then we came back to the top of this range. It was R1 at the time. You had the 200 EMA, you had VWAP right here for support. Just the top of this range going to the top of this range was what, 575. And oh yeah, so this move right here was another $2,400 move. And if you took your profits here at the top of this range, and then you got right back into this, like these two moves right here was $4,800. And all you had to do was just wait for the confirmation. That's it. That's all you had to do was wait for the confirmation. And so instead of just trying to get in and hope, trying to find the bottom, like, I mean, I do like trying to find the bottoms. Like I said, I like being challenged, but sometimes that bites me in my ass. So that's exactly what I'm going to start practicing during the live streams moving forward. And that's going to be my New Year resolution. So that's going to be it. So tonight, I was fighting against myself about trying to take a trade. But I was like, no. I mean, honestly, you got CPI tomorrow. We're going to get a beautiful price action once people know what the CPI report is going to be. Either we're going to see a big move up or a big move down. It's highly likely that we'll see that big move up. So if we just wait for the reaction, wait for the confirmation, draw out our chart geometry, we can make some serious money tomorrow. We really can. We really can. Yeah. And yeah, Nate, I've actually hit 500 points on the Nasdaq twice. The first time I wasn't even going for the 500 points. I was just pissed off because everybody was like, "Sherm, don't do it. It's going to 620. Don't do it." I'm like, "No, I'm shorting this shit. It's not getting like, dude, it's not getting above that high." But everybody thought it was going to 620. Then my boy Crash Kari came out and said whatever the hell he said, which crashed the market. And I got my 500 point because I just let the thing run the entire I let the thing run. I didn't take profits. Obviously, like it closed like at the end of the session, it literally closed at 500 points, but it was off stream. And I never felt right about that. So the second time I did it, it was on stream. And it just goes to show that like I said, I don't care about the profits. I care about the targets. I care about the points. If I see an opportunity for a big rotation on the Nasdaq, I'm gonna take it, and I'm not taking no kind of profits. I want that whole move, goddammit. But like I said, that stubbornness is a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword because sometimes they'll miss my target and then they'll come back and hit my stop, like it is on Bitcoin. I mean, I'm still in this trade, but I mean, I was like I said, I was up, and you see my target's all the way down here. And the only reason why I got my target down here is actually I don't know why I got it. Hold on, what did I got my target down here for? What do I got my target down here for? I think I might have just moved this down here. I don't know why I got this down here for. Let me look. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, I see why. So I was targeting this golden zone right here on Bitcoin. This is where I got the stop. I mean, like I said, it's in the sim, so it's not necessarily a I mean, I probably would do the same thing if this was a real trade, honestly. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, but I should have I mean, honestly, I should have took profits here at this double bottom. And if I thought that the market was going to run, I should have had like a piece. And that's something else I'm gonna have to start doing as well, is breaking up the trades into portions and at least paying myself for being right versus trying to have it all come off at this level right here. Hmm. Oh yeah. But the one thing I love about Bitcoin is that it is definitely a bear's market. If you like to if you prefer the short, um, you will definitely make more money shorting Bitcoin than to buying it long. You'll definitely make more money in the long run. Definitely. We'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, and that's the one thing that that's the one thing, Alfred, that I can never get comfortable with copy trading because like all it takes is for one bad day and then all your accounts are gone. But at the same time, I mean, you can have a really good day and all your accounts are good and they're ready for a payout. Me personally, I just prefer to trade them individually. Um, if I need to have one account as a scapegoat, like if I'm not necessarily, if I'm not, if I see a setup but I'm not 100% sure, I do have an account that, I mean, hey, it's my Marine account. It's the first one on the battlefield. If that account takes a hit, then I know that um, any follow up trade past that account will be good. But honestly, I might get stopped out of this trade, to be completely honest, because now that I'm looking at this, I mean, we could see the move up into this range right here. We could see this tonight. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, we could see that tonight. And then we could see a short off these highs at 504. Honestly, if price gets into this range, honestly, this range would have been the better short. This range right here. I'm actually going, I mean, if I'm up, which I highly doubt, but if I am, and I see this, I'll probably take this trade in the sim as well, because this range right here, it's highly likely that price, when price gets up here, especially up here at R3, we could see, it's highly likely that we'll see a move back down, probably back to the top of this range right here. We'll probably see that. And I got to stop getting tricked by the freaking Nasdaq about shorting her in areas where it's highly unlikely for her to really short. I mean, or we can see a potential double bottom right here. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what we get. We can potentially see a move down like this. But obviously, the better short would be up here in this range. Shoot, probably here at R2 480. Hmm. So am I pronouncing this right? Is that Adrian? I think I pronounced this. Let me know if I pronounced that wrong. But yeah, Adrian. Okay. So this is a tick chart. This is not a time-based chart at all. This is a tick chart. This is an 1800 tick chart. This is an 1800 tick chart. The only time-based charts that I use is the hourly. That's the only one that I would ever reference. Yeah, honestly, this is looking like yeah. I'm on the wrong side of the market right here. I'm on the wrong side. The way that this hourly chart is looking like we have a rally. It looks like it's basing, and we can see another rally. And I think this is another good example of chart geometry. We got the trend line off of the highs. We got the trend line off of the lows, and you can see it right here that the bears came in and shorted right at the bottom of that trend channel. Hmm. And that's interesting because the first drop happened at 590. The first drop happened at 590. And that was that drop right here. And that drop at 590 happened at a smaller trend channel. Hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely going to start trying. I'm actually going to start doing that and start playing this game. No, I'm gonna stay in this. I'm gonna stay in it. I'm gonna stay in it. I'm gonna stay. Scientific purposes, we'll see what happens. Hmm. 420. 420 was that low. We'll see though. Okay. 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 Shit, you know what, man? Okay. I mean, I keep doing this, but sometimes the freaking sometimes the Nasdaq and the ES just kind of piss me off with how it trades. No, that's not it. That's not it. Because that's definitely part of it right there. No. Okay, so that's not gonna work. So this is kind of like what, a triangle or something like that. Hmm. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's definitely the correct way to always think about that. I think this is probably why I delete this chart all the time. Mm. Hey, what's up, chart driven? We do trade New York. We definitely do trade New York. I just come in at the pre-market session for chart prep, and before all this manipulation, trying to find entries into that we can swing into the New York session. But the market is right now is being heavy manipulated, so it's kind of it has definitely been challenging to find some decent trades to swing into. This is actually a good trade on the ES right here. This is actually, so I'm definitely on the wrong side on that Nasdaq trade. I'm definitely on the wrong side. Definitely. Because this is definitely going to pop. That's definitely going to pop. I'm gonna probably do this right here. Yeah, like right there. I give this 6 points of drawdown. And I do expect for the bears, or at least the buyers to take profits and the bears to come in and try to sell that. We'll see. I'm about to say, I was like, dude, I know I'm not down to $11, yo. This is exactly where I want my stop. Like right there. Hmm. I would definitely want it at the top of this range right here. Okay. Hmm. And chart driven, are you talking about 7:30 Eastern or 7:30 Central Time? Oh, Central? Okay. And yeah, so uh how do I want to say this? So I'm not necessarily, I mean, I get what you're saying. And that's definitely true. I would never recommend uh trading overnight because of how slow it is, and that is exactly what it is, a waste of mental resources. But I'm definitely in the sim. I'm in my sim, and this is just, it gives me time just to hang out, look at the charts overnight, look at opportunities, stuff like that, hang out with you guys overnight. And it makes me Yeah, so the main reason why I started doing this is because I used to hide from the charts overnight. And for a while, a lot of the setups were happening in pre-market, and it was kind of hard to find something. It was kind of hard to find really good setups in the New York session because all the good setups happened in the Asian session, and all we got was continuation. So this is just an opportunity just to I mean, it started off as that, but now it's like, yeah, this is just us hanging out, therapy session, going over what happened earlier in the session, what could possibly happen in the next section, just speculating, stuff like that. Stuff like that. And shit, if y'all guys got anything in terms of what y'all think is going to happen, we can talk about it. Late nights. We can definitely talk about it. Mike Jones. Hmm. Yep. But we do trade mostly New York though. My trader partner sometimes, well, I don't think he does it no more, but there was a point in time where he did used to come in London. He doesn't do that anymore. Yeah, so yeah, we're definitely going to get a move up into this range. Uh my assumption is that as soon as we get into this range, we're going to probably see a breakout. We're going to probably get to R3 for sure. And then we're going to start to see the market move back down here to 45. Because it's looking like they're holding this range right here. We're definitely getting the market, the bulls to hold this range. I mean, we potentially got a double top right here. Potentially. We do got this resistance level at 45 because remember, 45 was that support from earlier in the session. We got this support at 45 from the earlier session, and you can see that they broke structure here at 45 as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see price tap this area and we see a move back down. I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't. But if we can see the market move up from this range, pull back and find support here, well, then we're definitely going back up into this range for sure. We're definitely doing that for sure. Actually, Alfred, I absolutely agree with that. My baby Bitcoin ain't gonna like this, but I'm gonna change this. She's not gonna like this. She told me not to ever trade this bitch ever again, but I'm a trader. No, I don't like to trade micro gold. I like to trade regular gold. Honestly, I feel like what's the point of micro gold? Honestly, it's only 10. So it's really only $10 a contract. $10 a point. It trades in a way to where you really don't even have to put that much risk on her, dude. What the? Okay. I don't know why that's doing that. I don't know why. For whatever reason, it's not loading up gold. Maybe it's on the January contract. Let me look at that. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, it just keeps doing that for whatever reason. Let me see. GC 01-25. Um, GC 01-25. Hmm. Let's see if that will work. GCM 25. Yeah, that's not working. Yeah, I don't know what the heck is going on with my well, I guess let me just load up the micro gold then. Oh, so it seems like both my gold charts are doing that. For whatever reason, I can't load it up. Um, for whatever reason, I can't load it up. Seriously. Damn, gold is super trending tonight. What's up with gold? Hmm. So it looks like Bitcoin and gold is trending tonight. That's interesting. Yeah. All right, charge driven. You have a good night, man. Have a good night. Yeah, we're just here for all the late night traders, man. The late night traders. Looks like people are 61% long on gold right now. But yeah, this thing has been uptrending ever since it opened. But it's been uptrending for it. And this is why trading a swing account with gold, if you want to capture these big moves, is always the move because it takes there several sessions to make a move. We'll see what happens here at this high. We'll definitely get a pullback at this high, but the question is how deep of a pullback? We're gonna get a pullback, and I'm pretty sure price is either gonna get caught by the 21 or this 50 EMA for a continuation. We can possibly see price run these highs a little bit. We possibly might get price to run up here to 2750. Yeah, 2750 might be that area. Um, we'll see. But yeah, let me see what happens with this trade. Mm. Yeah, yeah, Mike. I usually see that actually happen. So all the CPIs, all the FOMCs, all the inflationary data, I've seen gold trend up, and after the data is released, we usually see a big dump afterwards. We'll see if that trend continues tomorrow, depending on what we will get. Let's actually look at that and see what the market is expecting for tomorrow. Okay, so there's no way that I understand that this is all bullshit. I mean, but we're playing a game here. Um, there's no way that inflation is down even close to 2%, because obviously you can just go to your local grocery store and see that it's not. But if this is the data that they want to release, well, I mean, we're only participating in this game. We don't make the rules. So shit, they want to say it's close to 2.7. Well, shit, it's close to 2.7. We're just going to trade the reaction to that. But the real ones, no. Anyway, so I think it's core PCE, which we have to pay attention to. Yeah, so it's core PCE we got to pay attention to. And I forgot which other one. I think it's, yeah, month over month and year over year. it's interesting that they got core PCE as less than red when I could have sworn that that's what market participants are mostly focused on is core. But yeah, whatever. So I think this is a good book right here that to understand these percentages. What is it? Lying through statistics, I think. Lying with statistics. How to lie with statistics. There you go. There you go. That's the book. How to lie with statistics. I think this will really help you understand all the bullshit that they kind of show us on these economic reports because they're lying with statistics. But oh, did I really go back? It's like, what the hell? Where's my thing? Oh, okay. Okay, so the consensus right now for year over year is 2.7, and the consumer price index month over month is 0.3%. Now, I know when you would initially, or most market participants, the people that don't fully understand what they're looking at, if we were to get 2.8, I would make the assumption that people's initial reaction would be like, oh, it's only 0.1% higher than expected. But that's actually bad in terms of percentages, because this is not really a percent. It's how they say it. So how you supposed to read this as 2.7%. And this can mean anything. But because people see this percentage sign, they think that they're talking in percentages, and that's not necessarily the whole truth. So if we see 2.8 tomorrow, obviously this will be an assumption, but we could see a nasty reaction to that. We could, because that would suggest that, oh man, we might not get a rate cut. We're still playing that we might not get a rate cut game still. Even though the Fed has said that they're going to do rate cuts, we're still kind of playing that game until we get it. And so that's how you have to think about this tomorrow. Is if we see anything less than 2.7, I mean, not less, but higher, that could be a nasty move to the downside tomorrow. Month over month, they're expecting 0.3%. So anything higher than that, we might get a nasty drop due to we might not get a rate cut fears, when Powell's already said we're getting a rate cut, but the market is going to be the market. The market is going to be the market. But if you watch that recent that New York Times meeting with Powell, and some of what the Feds or some of the Fed speakers have been saying, how do I want to say this? It's obvious that they don't want to cut rates. It's obvious that they're concerned about the economy and that they actually want to raise rates. It's obvious, because even though we're playing this stupid game that, oh man, the economy is the best that it's ever been, blah, blah, bullshit, we know that it's not. And they know it's not. But as long as they can keep this bubble going, because I think Powell said that his concern is that with how good, quote unquote, the economy is doing, the economy itself is not keeping up with it. The GDP, I think he said. I'm gonna have to actually rewatch that interview again, but he said something about the GDP is not keeping up with it for as good as the market is or the economy is. And that was one of his big concerns. And a lot of other Fed speakers have alluded to that same concern. So like we talked about earlier this year, just make sure that you have yourself financially squared away. Because if this bubble pops, it can definitely get ugly. It can definitely get ugly. It's already ugly now. It can get uglier. So we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I think like next week, we got FOMC next week. We got a lot of stuff next week. But I mean, as long as Powell cuts rates, all the news afterwards it doesn't matter. Because that's all the market wants. As long as the market gets what it wants, then the market's happy. If it doesn't, then we all know that the market's just going to throw a tantrum, as always. Next week. We'll see more market manipulation and crap. Yeah, because we got FOMC on Wednesday. And what's interesting is that this FOMC is going to be a lot different because we got projections going into Trump's presidency starting next year. So that's going to be interesting to see how the market reacts to that. But we got PCE on Friday, which I'm pretty sure the market is going to react to it, of course. But if we get the rate cut, I mean, the market's not going to. It's highly likely that we won't see a big reaction if we get the rate cut, because the only reason why we would get a big reaction from PCE is if this came before the FOMC meeting, because obviously this is the tool that Powell has stated that he enjoys using to gauge how he should apply his monetary policy, or apply the restrictiveness of monetary policy. And then I think we have GDP as well. So obviously, if this was before, this would have a bigger impact. So I don't expect like a really, really, really big move if we get a rate cut, honestly. But it could happen next week. And then I think we have options expiration, futures and option expirations next week as well. So we got a lot of more volatility going into next week. So that should be fun. And that should be fun. And Mike says that people are reacting to CPI or Fed stuff as much. Yeah, because I mean, the Fed has already said that Powell's already said he's doing the rate cut. So, I mean, people don't have to speculate. I think the narrative now is, how much is he going to cut rates? I think the betting markets have him as, let me look at that. I think it's like the Fed tool that they use. The betting markets are betting that it's like an 80% chance that he cuts rates next week. And the game is now how much he's going to cut rates. Let me see. The Fed Watch tool, CME Group, Fed Watch tool. Where is it at? Okay. Damn. Oh, that's interesting. I don't think really? Hmm. All right, so I don't know if I'm reading this right or if I'm interpreting this right. So they said that the current target is a 4.5 to 4.75 basis point, and the market thinks that, so is looking for a 25 basis point cut. And it's an 87% chance that we'll get 25 basis points. It's about 13% chance that it stays the same, that he doesn't cut rates and he keeps it steady. And this is on the Fed Watch tool. So this is what the market is expecting. If we don't see a 25 basis point cut next week, the market is going to throw a tantrum. It's going to throw a tantrum because it expects at least a 25 basis point. If we get more than a 25 basis point cut, we might see a lot of craziness. We can see a lot of craziness, a lot of back and forth, because I think the market is going to be initially happy that we're getting closer to that 0% that the market really wants. I mean, the market's got a taste of that 0% interest rate, basically free money. And the market has never been the same ever since we got that 0% interest rate, where it really was, the interest rates were negative. So people were literally getting money for free, literally money for free. And obviously, if you're that's why we had that big pump, because all these big companies that were able to afford taking out big, massive loans with no interest attached to it and just flipping that money, they was able to buy back their stocks. And that's exactly what they did. And now the market just wants a taste of that 0% interest rate on that money again. And I think ever since we got that first rate cut, or not that first rate hike, the market has been, quote unquote, jonesing to get back to that reality. But obviously, it's the reason why we're in an inflationary environment in the first place. Obviously. So, yeah. He said shit is bad. Yeah, I keep hearing a lot of stuff about Canada. Is it really that bad? I mean, so if you don't mind, explain like what's going on up there, cuz I mean, I don't live there. So, I hear about it, but I don't really look into it myself. What's so bad, or what's going up there in Canada? Mm. Yep, how to lie with it. Yep, yeah. Once you kind of understand how the get, or I guess how I want to say it, once the veil is lifted and you understand the game that the mainstream media or the government is playing, it's like, okay, I see what you're doing there. I'm gonna play the game because obviously I have no control over it, but I'm not gonna be fooled into believing the bullshit that y'all try to tell us or make us believe. Because from what I've seen, at first I was thinking to myself, I mean, they can't really think that people are actually believing this shit. But if you paid attention to the elections before the actual candidate got chosen, when people would argue which candidate that they want, they would actually quote the statistics. They quoted. You know how many times the job data got quoted, even though eventually it was found out that 800 of those jobs were fake, and they were using that to make it appear that Biden's economy is the best economy that's since sliced bread, even though we live in this horrible reality where everything's expensive if you can't afford it. But they were using these fake data reports, and people on the streets were also using these reports, not fully understanding what they actually mean. But they were saying it, they were repeating it. And that's the whole point. If you can make somebody believe that the sky is orange, even though they can look up and clearly see it's blue, well, shit, you can do a lot of damage like that. And that's exactly what happened this election, because it's crazy. If you watch any of the street interviews, they'll say, "Oh, we're in the best economy. Biden's doing a good job. Harris was going to continue it." And then it's like, "So how's your life going?" It's like, "Oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to survive. I'm going to lose my business. I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to," like, it's crazy. And it's hard to believe unless you see it. It's hard to believe unless you see it. And it took me a while to really grasp how the same person can say two different statements in the same sentence or in two different questions. But again, it's a game. It's a game. Anyway, I'm gonna digress off that. But we're almost getting close to that time. I'll probably stay on for a couple more minutes. But we can definitely expect I guess more chop until the data is released tomorrow. Based on the charts, I'm learning that my bias is dangerous to bring into the market as a day trader, but I'm going to say that, I mean, if they don't hold this right here, if we don't see that double bottom, because I mean, we're literally at the bottom of this trend channel, literally at the bottom of that trend channel. We got a break. Obviously, they kind of found support, I mean, in this area. And we got price to move back up to the bottom of that trend channel. If we see a rejection from the bears here, if we see a rejection from the bears here, we can see a nasty move down. A nasty move down. And we can possibly see somewhere in this 250 area right here, because that's the next level of support. That's actually where we got that breakout from. We got that breakout from here. And honestly, it would kind of make sense for the market to kind of want to come back down here and rebalance this area and then make a move up. And that's kind of what I'm expecting tomorrow, but we'll see. If I see that this candle flips, I mean, if we do see the market actually make a rotation higher, I mean, based on the structure, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I guess the market could. I mean, it could. We could get to the top of this channel around 700. Let's actually look to see where that other contract got to on the Nasdaq. Yeah, I mean, it got to 87.3, 21.87.3. Let's actually look at that real quick. 21.87.3. Because it's going to want to catch up to it. 21.87.3. That's interesting. Huh. Hey, what's up? Yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely see what happens. But hey man, building houses, that's yeah. So yeah, I was in construction for like 2 seconds. 2 seconds. First I was at a shipyard, and then I was a part of a temp agency, and I uh was helping build a church. And I was there since the beginning. And then this was way back in what, 2000 and what, 15? Probably like 13, 14, 15 or something like that. Long time ago. And that's when I learned, well, That's when I learned that for whatever reason, and I was talking to one of the I think he was one of the concrete guys, I think it doesn't matter which part of the job he did. So apparently this is very common for I guess the person that's running the project to build a house or to build a church or whatever. Whichever company is contracted to do it, it's normal for them to not pay their workers. And then for them to say, hey, yeah, I can't pay you right now, but if you come and do another job for me, then I'll pay you double the money that I was supposed to pay you, and then the money I'm supposed to pay you for this new job. And apparently that's common. And I'm thinking to myself, as he was telling me this, I was like, dude, like, what? Like, what? How does that make sense? If he didn't pay you now, why the hell is he going to pay you later? But apparently that's commonplace for whatever reason. And we're not talking about none of the workers. We're talking about like the contractors, like the people that are contracted to, like if you're building a place. I think he was yeah, he's putting like, yeah, I forgot what he was doing. He was either the painter or the concrete guy. And I was like, dude, that's like the craziest thing in the world. If he didn't pay you the first time, he ain't going to pay you the second time. And then a lot of these guys got to take these people to court just to get their money. I was like, dude, why do the work? Huh, that's interesting. So I hear a lot of stories like that. Not the workers, because I think if you're not going to pay the workers, they're not gonna show up. We're talking about the contractors, the business owners, the ones that are coming out and they have the companies. Like if the contractor contracts out a job, there could be times where they don't get paid, and yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's crazy. That was crazy when he told me, and I was like, dude, yeah, that was crazy. But I think that's it. I think that's all I got for tonight. We'll see. We'll see what happens. The one thing I don't like is that I don't like how the ES is looking. The ES is not looking bullish whatsoever. We did get price to kind of come back into this little area right here. You can see that we had a low at 35. We had a value area low at 37. We had a prior all-time high at 40. So I mean, this little range between 35 and 40. We'll see how the market reacts to this area at the release of CPI. We'll see. But this is not looking bullish. We got the 21 sloping down, we got the 50 sloping down, and we got price hugging on. Where the hell is my VWAP at? The hell? Order flow view up. Session. Should I do the month? We'll look at the month and then we'll look at the week and we'll see if there's any difference. Because that information on the ES is definitely essential. All right, so that's VWAP for the month. Let's look how it looks on the week. Yeah, I think VWAP for the week is probably a lot better. I think it's a lot better. Okay, so we got VWAP sloping down. We got the 21 sloping down. We got the 50 sloping down. And we got price being held up by the 200 EMA. This don't look bearish on the ES. And the Nasdaq ain't going to go up by herself. I mean, the Nasdaq is also looking bearish, but we all know that the Nasdaq can easily push up first and then drop. But that's no question on the ES. So we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens on the ES. We'll see what happens. Probably like 30, something like that. Probably like 30. Yeah. Yeah, this looks like this looks like it. Because I'm thinking that the bulls are going to probably want to buy the retest somewhere in this area. Yeah. Yeah. So Mike says housing. Oh yeah, build like 5 houses, 4B. You get paid for the first one. Home builders are on the brink of. Let's see if I should have stayed in short with this. We'll see what happens. Because I would have still been in this short, but I think the market's going to hold this area and we can probably see a move up. We'll see. But all right, guys, that's all I have. We'll come back tomorrow morning, New York Open. We're going to trade the reaction to CPI. It's looking like we will see a down move tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll definitely wait for the confirmation going into tomorrow's stream. So that said, have a good night, everybody. Peace out.